shooting at 2-3 seconds. Not really getting a good foundation before he shoots. And Kimmerling doing a great job defensively, taking advantage of that. Gummeson can't connect. Kimmerling now in possession of the ball. It's 2-1 here in Game 3 in favor of Anderson and Kimmerling. It's a semifinal in the winners bracket here at the 2007 Minnesota State Championships. Kimmerling setting it up lower left-hand corner of the table in pull shot position.
And it's the same situation for Jeff Kimmerling, though. He needs to just get rid of the ball. They've done a very good job just feeding you forward, not trying to score a lot of goals.
And here's Perrie again. Again, not a productive outcome to that possession from Gregg Perrie as it ends up on the 5-row of Anderson. Let's see what Gregg does here. We've seen in the past Perrie use a tic-tac style of shooting, which at least does clear the zone. And again, there you see it, another turnover.
And I would say, I would even give that same analysis that we talking about Dave Gummeson sitting on the ball and really studying the defense. The same thing with Gregg Perrie back there.
And Anderson makes him pay. Again, that's at least 3 times where Perrie has turned the ball over and Anderson has scored the shot. It's now 3-1. And it's about time for Perrie to give up that strategy.
Because he needs to, again, he's analyzing and he's waiting for Dillon to do something, and he's just not doing it.
Kimmerling with a beautiful save. Gummeson able to grab it on his 3-row and stroke it home down the middle. Still not a typical Dave Gummeson style of shot. Perrie to forward, Gummeson to goal as Anderson serves the ball down to his 5, now leading 3-2. Can't hold on to the pass, grabbed on the 5 by Perrie. They'll go ahead and try to pass it. Talked about how good Perrie's 5-row is. Likes to get that ball moving real slowly, then he'll brush it through the lane on this occasion. See if he's going to shoot it.
I would bring Dave back up front right now.
But no, he fires home that snake shot. It's 3-3. Well, Gummeson's shooting percentage the last game and a half has not been real high, so perhaps not a bad idea. And you see Perrie staying in that forward position. Anderson tried to go along the wall, stolen away by Perrie. And that one rattles into the goal. So the switch is a productive one for Perrie and Gummeson. They're now up 4-3 after trailing 3-2.
Now right now what Dillon needs to do, that was not it obviously, but he needs to change up his 5-bar offensive strategy. And again, he just kind of, cut 2 mistakes in a row right there.
Didn't value those possessions. And Perrie will take advantage of that. The veteran out of Hollywood, California. And here's Perrie now with a chance to close out game number 3. What a turnaround here. Shooting against Kimmerling. Perrie. Looks like he may use a timeout. Let's see. Yes, he will. Gummeson will move back into that forward position. Perrie to goal. Dillon Anderson and Jeff Kimmerling with a window of opportunity to really close out game number 3. They jumped ahead early and had opportunities, but got a little bit lazy. Brad Anderson really did not value possessions.
Really, the 2 possessions on the 5-rod that were wasted, and I was sitting up here looking for something to throw at him, and I couldn't find anything available.
Jim Stevens, along with a very unbiased Brad Anderson, happy to be on hand to bring you all this exciting action as Dave Gummeson now sets it up looking to win game 3. Shooting against Jeff Kimmerling, Dave Gummeson fires it home down the middle. So a nice comeback effort from Gummeson and Perrie, but again, Anderson and Kimmerling had chances. So despite Perrie's inefficiency in that last game, using that 2-rod to the 5-rod passing series, Gummeson and Perrie survive and now lead 2 games to 1. They'll be on the right of your screen. Anderson and Kimmerling now moving to the left, and we'll see how Dillon and Jeff respond.
They just have to kind of regroup mentally. They lost focus at the end of that game.
And here we go. Game 4 underway.
This is your last opportunity.
Anderson will have the first scoring opportunity of this 4th game as he sets it up in snake shot position, shooting against Perrie. Try to come to the near side. Perrie with a block up into the air and off the table. There's a tendency in this situation to try to start to rush things, to try to come back and get that momentum. But what you really need to do is stick with the things that got you into a position in the first place. Take your time on those rods. Value those possessions.
Well, now we see Gregg Perrie actually clearing the ball. It's
something different there as you set it up in push position.
It's a good move.
Another scoring opportunity here as he sets it up in snake shot position. Dillon fires it to the near side. That went off the man, off the wall, into the goal. Frustrated Gregg Perrie. It's now 1-0.
Again, he can't sit there. He can't rush that shot. He's got to sit on the ball.
And the ball stolen away by Anderson.
Just like that side of the table.
Does need to continue to take his time like he did earlier on. Fakes to the far side, trying to come back to the near, blocked by Perrie. Anderson, another opportunity here. He's getting the ball here in game 4. Dillon fires it down the middle. A nice pick there. It's 2-0.
You'll see a little bit of the Nathan Winter style that Dillon will play. Dillon's practiced a little bit with Nathan Winter. Very good player out of South Dakota, now living in Minneapolis.
Gummeson, possession on the 3-row. Dave, full shot position. Fires it home. Dave Gummeson takes his time, explodes the hole. It's 2-1. Perrie to forward, Gummeson to goal.
And again, this is where Dillon maybe has to show a little bit different look.
He does have to. They're talking about the great defensive fives ever. Perrie, offensively as well. It's got to be up there in that top 10. Jeff Kimmerling.
We're not playing that match with table 3 that that's not all.
A couple of the things that have made Perrie a great player for the last 30 years are his competitiveness and his defensive abilities. A shot attempt turns into a pass. Anderson able to reel it in on his 3-row. Jeff Kimmerling getting a little chuckle out of that one. Anderson now looking to give his team a 3-1 lead, shooting against Dave Gummeson, and he finds that hole down the middle. A nice pick by Anderson. It's 3-1. Gummeson.
Right now, Gummeson and Perrie have to maintain focus as well. They found themselves quite a ways behind the second game.
And quick shot attempt by Gummeson, who shakes his head, realizes that probably was not the best idea in this situation. Kimmerling with a rebound. Jeff has passed the ball very well. He did score early on in the first game, I believe, but he's passed, I believe, 4 different times to the 3-row of his partner, Dillon Anderson.
He scored their first goal of the match and has been silent since.
Slicing effort does clear the zone.
But most of the time you'll trade those few goals from the back for some solid defense.
Perrie now setting it up on the near side again, just looking to clear the zone, which he does. And that one off the inside wall into the goal for Kimmerling. It's now 4-1. It does appear that we're going to be headed to a 5th and final game. So a nice response here in this 4th game from Anderson and Kimmerling. Dave Gummeson. Anderson with the block. And again. And Gummy can't hold on to it. It's grabbed by Kimmerling. Jeff fires a long pull shot down the table.
Hammered at that.
Reeled in by Anderson, who sets it up. Quick shot attempt, bounces in the air. Got a chance to close out the deal. Perhaps you want to take a little more time. Let's see what Dillon does here.
I'm looking for more objects to throw here.
Dillon taking his time. Trying to come to the near side. Perrie with the switch and the block. Again, though, Perrie timing that beautifully. Gregg fires it on goal. So far, this strategy here in Game 4 of Perrie setting the ball up on that near side and push position has been a productive one, although they are trailing 4-1. He has cleared the zone. He's not turned the ball over.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd necessarily could classify it as productive, but it's not as counterproductive. Let's put it that way.
And he turns it over here. Anderson, another chance to close out Game 4. His 3rd. And he does. Firing that one home. We're all tied up at 2 games apiece.